Hi everybody, my name is Noz Urbina. I'm a content strategist and senior consultant with a firm called Mekon, based out of London. I've always had a passion for the field of semiotics, technology, and communications, and the combination of those really lends itself well to technical communications. In my early career, having started in markup technologies straight out of school, I that really helped me kind of get straight onto the cutting edge, working with XML and structured content and so on, and helping people with that kind of area. Now I consult around the world with a European focus mainly. I'm based in Spain and I travel for client work and to present at various industry events and deliver workshops. I also blog, not as often as I should, but I do blog on lessworkmoreflow.blogspot.com. I've always basically been about facilitating people's experience in content or one way or another, career-wise. Like a lifetime ago, I started in a technical support position, remotely helping users that were trying to make their way in structured content creation tools. So authoring in structure in the first place and getting to grips with that. From there, I moved onto more hands-on and business-oriented positions, like a pre-sales engineer, and then working as a trainer, and eventually professional services consultant. There was some coding and application development along the way, like I was an actual developer, and I've made some integrations and customizations for software. But now I help people choose the right software packages for their needs rather than trying to build something from scratch. If I wasn't a content strategist, I think I'd be focused probably on my training. I love teaching and I love working with people to help them do something that they couldn't do before. People show up or they log in, you work with them a bit, and they leave with the capability to do something that they couldn't do before. And you kind of give them a skill in a way. So, what can give you better job satisfaction than that? I love Congility. I and the rest of the Congility team at Mekon have been working on delivering what we feel is one of the most unique and, if you'll allow me, prestigious events in Europe since 2006. We do a large main conference every other year, but in between we also run webinars, seminars, and training sessions, either on our own or co-located with other events, mainly around Europe. Congility's roots were originally around XML publishing and technical communications. Hence, it used to be called XPubs. But we quickly found out that we were about a lot more than Tech Comm content specifically. That's not to say we're less focused. It's to say that we're focused on what makes good modern content solutions. And that is and shouldn't be restricted to the Tech Comm silo or any one department. Good content best practices crosses silos, and it's not about Tech Comm, and it's not about one particular storage technology like XML, but yes, XML does often come up. So what Congility is about, it's about bringing together the best of the best from various backgrounds who will talk about their experiences giving commercial content, product content, public sector and governmental content, the agility that it needs to thrive and survive in today's marketplace. We focus on content strategy. We talk about business case development, and we try to get people in from silo busting projects who are on the cutting edge, and then also bring people not who have just rolled out their cutting edge whizzy thing, but have implemented 3, 4, 5 years ago and can come back and talk about how enterprise solutions can mature or how implementations can evolve over time and what the benefits were, proven fact rather than first year projects which are talking about what they hope to be. The feedback from last year's conference was really amazing, and we've had people kind of banging on our door about it since. So I'm really looking forward to the next one. You can find out more about that, by the way, on congility.com. Um, and we do webinars and I have other announcements on there. So if you can check that out, then you'll find out more about what we do. I'm really excited about my LavaCon talk. Tomorrow was yesterday, shaping the future of Tech Comm. Honestly, it's become a bit of an obsession for me. I've been walking around, taking notes, in my day-to-day life and running through my head for ages, months and months and months. It's going to look at how people in enterprise and people generally look at themselves vis-a-vis technology and time, and how we think of ourselves in relation to those things. Basically, my thesis is that we struggle a lot to think more than a few years ahead. Um, we think what are major innovations today. Well, really, they're kind of minor tweaks. They are repackaging old technologies or existing technologies in new ways. Things that have been hovering in the background for years have been put together in a killer app or a killer solution, be it hardware, software, whatever, that gives a new experience that people really want to buy into. So what is science fiction now, or if it was a few years ago, is always so much closer than we think. And I've got several examples where science fiction became fact, and where life has imitated art. And I'm going to look going back into the recent past, and I have a couple of examples from several hundred years ago, which I think teach us about communication and technology today. And I'm going to bring it all home to what the audience at LavaCon should keep in mind when they're looking at other conferences, and what they should keep in mind when they go back to work the first day after they get back from the conference. I, Something I've been doing to hammer this point home about our difficulty with time and looking to the future is simply asking people how long they think the iPad has been around. The iPad's changed everything. They're in the hands of doctors, they're in the hands of technical people, home users, and waiters in restaurants. The number of applications for the tablet technology has been huge, and the iPad was, of course, the one that broke that market, created it. Some people say. Um, they were the straw that broke the camel's back. The iPad was. That got kind of all of my customers talking about apps and mobile delivery. Smartphones were good, but it was kind of a bit, they weren't quite there yet. But it was really the iPad that opened the floodgates. So most people think it's around 5, 6, 7 years old, approximately, but it's not even been 3 years. And by the time we get to LavaCon, it's going to have been 30 months. So in 30 months, the whole world has gone tablet crazy. Um, but the iPad was definitely not the first tablet we've ever seen, or it wasn't even the first tablet device from Apple. So it was just the first one that hit the sweet spot and went mainstream. The lesson there is that we don't know what is going to be happening 30 months from now. And I'm going to talk a little bit of speculation, a little bit of prediction. This is my first talk at LavaCon, but not the first time I've been invited to talk about the future of information and communication technologies. And I'm happy to say that a few of my predictions from 10 years ago have played out. So I think this will be an interesting one for people to check out. It's a deceptively simple question. Um, because the focus is on technical writers, and I noticed you capitalized technical writer. Um, So does that mean there will be people who do what technical writers do today, or does it mean that there will be a specific job role called a technical writer in 20 years? Already, I think tech writer as a term is being replaced by technical communicator, which I think is a very significant change. I don't say technical writer very often. I always say technical communicator, and I don't think it's just a simple rebranding. I think it's a fundamental, change in mentality, and I think it's an important one. So I think that already the tech writer job is term is past its sell by date. But I think there's going to be a place for those skills for a long time to come. And I think that there's going to be many of the people who call themselves tech writers today who are still going to be gainfully employed doing similar work. I talk about this again in my LavaCon talk in more detail, but I think the obvious point is technology is not going away, and it's not getting simpler really. Usability is getting much better of technology, but at some point, someone's going to have to build this stuff. So even when we get to this often discussed point where everything is in such a usability nirvana, where no user ever needs a manual again, someone built the thing that they're using, And a lot of complexity and technology went into making it so usable and making it so robust. And the organizations are collaborating and communicating amongst each other or amongst themselves to bring a device to market, and that is a very technical communication. So there's going to be a role for technical writers and those skills, but in parallel, we're also going to see a lot of specialization within what are today technical writers. We're going to have metadata and indexing specialists, information architects, video and visuals specialists, user experience specialists, and template designers, all leveraging what are their current core communication skills. So I don't think there will be a mass of unemployed tech writers in the future. I think there will be a smaller number of people who carry the name tech writer or even tech communicator, and a lot of people who used to be tech writers who are being employed in new and different ways. So, other things that you might want to know. I am currently working on a book with the widely known, loved, and respected Rahel Ann Bailey, who is also the organizer of the partnered event Content Strategy Workshops, which is happening right after LavaCon. You can learn more about that at contentstrategyworkshops.com. We'll have more to announce about the book at LavaCon and there. And at Content Strategy Workshops, I'll be delivering a workshop for content strategists about leveraging content assets with multi-channel publishing. That's going to look at how the content strategy field, for people who have maybe more of a web background, or people who do have a tech comms background but who haven't looked at really going multi-channel in a big way, can get their content assets into a single sourcing paradigm that'll let them go out into whatever channels they need to, be that embedded help or dynamic manuals in product and technical communications, or in embedded user assistance and websites and mobile delivery for other types of communication. So hopefully you'll be able to meet me at LavaCon and or Content Strategy Workshops and catch a couple of my presentations. I look forward to meeting all of you, and thanks for tuning in.